not live from Mab's bed to your head. I'm here with Ryan, also known as SlickJudge.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I brought you here to ask you some questions about Commander.
Cool.
Um, what about Commander brings you joy?
Um, a lot of things really. I think probably the number one aspect of it would be the social aspect. Just being able to play with more people, right? Um, there's an aspect when you're playing 1v1 where, your opponent's in the tank or or taking extra turns or countering all your spells or bashing your face in with Monastery Swift Spear. There's an aspect of that where you kind of just sit there in silence while it happens and you just take it. But Commander, you got two other people to talk to while someone else's turn. So
Yeah,
a
you
big,
can negotiate.
yeah, you can negotiate. Yeah. So the social aspect and there being other people to leverage and other people to talk to, other people to laugh with, is a really big thing for me. Um, and then I think another aspect is just the breadth of cards and abilities and uh, archetypes that are available to you, right? You
Yeah.
have just so many different things you can do in that format. So it opens up a lot for creativity and jank and things that are close to your heart and trying things that are different. Um, Makes it a format that's really enjoyable for sure.
I am inclined to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I guess on to the next question. Uh, what positive impacts has the game had in your life?
A lot, actually. A big reason why I started playing was because I was coming out of a pretty tough spot. Me and a girl went through a pretty rough breakup maybe a month or two before. So I was definitely in a really weird headspace. I was trying to kind of figure myself out again, and you're trying to search for those other new things, different things that kind of give you purpose again or take up your time or distract you or whatever. And um I remember I was kind of dabbling in the game a little bit. Just I picked up some starter decks from Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, from like an Ultra Pro booth or something like that. And then they just like sat in my drawer for a while. And then I started to bring them out, learn the game, started to like it. I've always been a collector at heart, even since I was a kid. So like just having something else to buy was like perfect for me at the time. Was like something else to like collect, spend my time and energy on. And then as I spent more time on it, I was learning with, friends and some family, and it was such a huge catalyst of kind of saving me in that season, right? Like it just put me in a place that let me kind of figure things out again. And I realized this was a type of game that checked off like all of my boxes, right? Beautiful art, um, puzzles. It's always a puzzle, every game is a puzzle to solve.
For sure.
Um, Something to collect, right? Something to hold on to and to cherish, and something that gives itself value. And so that was kind of like the origin, right? It always has been a place for me to, ever since it kind of started from there as a place for me to kind of like find myself again. It's kind of been that continuously now for almost 5 years that I've been playing. Um, I feel like I've been playing my whole life. Like it just is like has consumed so much time. Um, but yeah, that's just something that's been continuous. And then of course, friends, the community, everything that comes with it. Shortly after I started learning, I made my Instagram. So I've had my Instagram for only a little bit less time as I've been playing.
Wow.
So most of my best friends in the game are people I've met on Instagram and that have been around for a long time. So uh, yeah, it's just been a really good. It just became something that was really I just really connected with, and it's allowed me to meet a lot of really good people. And 2020 comes along, and and all the stuff with that, right? So I wasn't the only one who clung to Magic last year, and it was definitely a really tough year for everybody. I went through some pretty wild stuff myself, and so Magic is always there. It's
That's been the story that I've heard with all of the interviews I've done so far, and everybody I've talked to is that they got into Commander specifically during a dark time in their lives, and it pulled them out
yeah,
of it.
yeah, yeah. Commander was pretty much the first real format I connected with because I was lucky to have a friend who was really into Magic at the time to just bring me in and bring me under his wing. You know what I mean? Like, and now that's all I want to do for people. If I see anyone show an inkling of interest in the game, of course, I give them their space. I give them their space, like make sure they really like it, let them kind of do their own thing for a little bit. But when they start to really show more interest, yeah, exactly. I bring them in and say, over here, Commander, over here. This is what you want.
Join the flock.
Yeah, join the flock. And again, that's kind of back to that social aspect thing, right? Like it feels a lot more comfy to be able to sit down as a new player or an interested player with multiple other people to play, to play a single game. So yeah, I can see that how people probably had a similar experience with it.
Yeah, but it's good to hear the little nuances on how everybody's is a little bit different and
Hmm.
how personal it can be for them.
Right.
I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, question number 3. Uh, in what ways have you seen or experienced uh, the community being a really positive influence?
That one's tricky. Think last year, I think 2020 was a big game changer for for this question. Um, Unfortunately, like anything competitive, there's a quite a large and vocal community part of the community that's toxic, right? That's a problem with gatekeeping, a problem with toxicity, a problem with saltiness and inability to read the situation and understand how people might be feeling in a certain social dynamic. But I think I think just in the same way as a lot of people struggled last year, I think it was a huge moment and a huge time for everyone to come together and try to find a common ground and find a way to connect, right? And at least with online, you can pick and choose who you play with, right? Like when you're showing up to your LGS and you're trying to get games in, it's just the same three people, or it's the same 7 people, and you really want to get a game in, and the only pod is that pod you hate playing with. You know what I mean? Like you end up you end up settling, right? You end up getting complacent. And so I think that aspect of online has really helped. You get to choose who you hang out with, and what's cool is the friendships you make online are all based on communication, right?
Yeah,
Which is something I've always been a huge proponent of, and why I love my online friends so much is because I'm connected and close with them because our friendship was predicated on communication, which is so big to relationships, right? Like no one's judging each other based on where you work, what you look like, like what you're wearing, what your hair looks like. You know what I mean? No, you may never have a photo on Instagram ever, and people will enjoy your company because of how you interact.
you may play games with somebody and only ever see their hands.
Yeah, exactly. So that was huge. But so that's like my preface, right? And so I think this last year I've just been able to see a lot of really awesome things come out of this desire to like find kind of purpose among people again. But first one that obviously comes to mind is Ramp Gang and Mental Misplay. With their charity streams and the amount they do for charity was is so sick. Is so cool to be a part of. I'm super humbled and honored to know them personally and to call them friends. Seeing them has absolutely encouraged me and motivated me to be more generous and to see these things and to see that my platform and my voice can be something powerful, right, for others.
Yeah.
So I've definitely been thinking about doing things like that myself. Just got to figure out logistics and all that, but that really has encouraged me. Um, and I think just the influx of online play. You just it's so much easier to invite someone to a game, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a webcam? Like, cool, yeah, you live 3,000 miles away. Like, let's find a time that works and jam, you know what I mean? And you just again, you just don't care what these people look like or where they're from or what their history is or you just know they want to play Magic and you're there.
You only care if they're going to be a dick or not.
Yeah, exactly. And so you play a game, and then if you vibe, then you continue. If you don't vibe, you don't ever have to talk to them again.
Exactly. Really curate the people that you play with.
Yeah,
I think that aspect of it has really it's given the toxic players less hold on where they can play because people are no longer beholden to their local crowds.
right. Of course, we miss those crowds. We miss being able to play in person.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's you can absolutely curate those groups. I think I'm in a place where my group is obviously very nicely curated, but I'm like, I know there's just so many. If there's this many people that I love, there's got to be so many more that I do, right? So
I mean for
like,
sure.
I'm like I'm kind of in this position where I'm like, all right, I got to step a little bit outside of my group. Like I love all y'all, but I need to find some more people. So like for example, me and some buddies are trying to find a good new group to play some 1v1 formats and do some leagues, some like modern and legacy leagues. And just find more people to play with.
There
And
you go.
obviously, it's good chances are they play Commanders. So, but
That
yeah,
sounds awesome. All right. Question number 4. What positive members of the community would you like to give a shout out to today? Obviously, you already gave a shout out to Ramp Gang.
yeah. How much time you got?
Well, I mean, you have until your breath runs out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. No, you know me. I love talking at my friends. I think it's something that is incredibly crucial, that you're able to just love on your friends, make sure they know, who they are to you and where they stand in your life and that they're valued and that they're seen and people just aren't told those things enough, right?
For sure.
Um, but yeah, some of my favorite people in the community that brought me kind of like into their fold last year because for a little while I was not super active on Instagram for a little bit. It kind of over time and kind of comes and goes, but before quarantine, maybe for like 6 to 8 months or so, um, I wasn't super active on Instagram, and then everything, the world imploded.
Right.
My life took a crazy turn, and I, was kind of searching for friends and family again, searching for somewhere to belong, and started kind of reaching out to people again on Instagram. And um, a really good buddy of mine that I've been friends with for a long time now through Instagram, the Commander Guru, Rob, he invited me to a group chat with him and a bunch of other people on Instagram. At the time that I joined, it was maybe like 20 people deep. Not everyone was active. There was maybe a good like 8 or 9 that were active every day. And at first I'm pretty extroverted, but at first I'm kind of shy, so it kind of took me a little while to get integrated and to feel comfortable. But um, by no time I was calling these guys friends and playing games and realizing, okay, I kind of I found my people again and feeling super welcomed. But some people that stand out to me, of course, Rob, Alan from Ramp Gang, Dan, moderately anonymous MTG. He's been a great friend and someone who is an awesome content creator, but also a great friend. That is, yeah, big love to Dan. Love hanging out with him and just laughing. We have a very similar humor, so just being in the same space is always a blast. You've seen it on
Oh
streams.
yeah.
It gets wild. Um, Jeremy, Faded MTG. I've actually known him, I believe, longer than anybody else.
Wow.
Um, he, we didn't talk a whole lot until this last year. We were, here and there, but he was one of my first friends on Instagram. So he's been awesome. And uh, CJ from Ramp Gang. Uh, I love. There's just so many people. I'm trying to like. There's like I just got shotgunned with a bunch of names, so now I'm trying to parse them out.
Sure.
Um, you, of course. I haven't known you for very long, but you immediately stood out to me in chat and in other people's streams. That's where we kind of started to like get to know each other a little bit more, was like in other people's stream. Then you like came over to mine and then we connected. And we just, we're always kind of hanging out in these streams together, and
Yeah.
it's always a lot of fun, and on Instagram here and there as well. And your positivity and your support means the world to me. Uh, so I'm excited to get some games in with you finally, and take this friendship to the real level of playing Magic. Right, that's
Yeah.
where it really starts to matter.
We're taking it to the
Um,
next level. I got you to Mab's bed. Now we're gonna get some
yeah,
games.
yeah, exactly. We have to escalate this. We have to expedite the friendship. Um, uh, MTG OGVA Curtis is really awesome guy. Um, Labman, Dan Lab Maniac. He we kind of talked here and there for a little bit, and then once we started to play games with each other, we got along really well. And he's always been an awesome hype man, always talking positively to me, and always down for games, just fun. And just his style of play and his style of banter, we get along really well. um Mill to a Land has been a great friend to me. Chris, love that guy a lot. Missed My Trigger, Ken's. She has been a longtime friend and has become one of my best friends. And I love these kind of relationships that go beyond the game, right? These friendships that you can take to you can take to um, daily talking. You can take to, hey, what's going on in your life? Hey, how are you actually? And just a handful of people who have just been that for me. Let's see. There's more. I'm not going to leave anyone out because that's not what I do.
We have
Um,
we have a while. So
yeah, and you can always edit this out.
oh,
So,
I'm not editing shit on in the middle. I only clip the ends.
okay, all right, perfect. So now we'll just sit. Hmm. So yeah, specifically in the MTG community. Oh, it's Fairy's First Barber, Lewis, one of the coolest dudes. Absolutely adore him. He is so positive and he's such a light in my life, and also constantly hyping me up, constantly replying to my selfies, constantly replying to whatever it is, hyping me up. He checks in on chat when he can. He's on the East Coast, so he checks in when he can. Um, Lewis is the man. So funny, witty, quick. We both skate. So we have that in common. So we get to like share that too. You know, I love being able to share other hobbies, similar music tastes. Music is like one of the most important things to me, and something I immediately want to share with everybody. The chance that the second I get the chance to. So that's always good to find friends that have that. Um, Sean Vile Smashed is so funny. He's just got a humor and a sarcasm about him that is just so great. And if you ever get a game with him or ever get to hang out with him, it's a blast. Vile Smash is great. Let's see. EDH Vault Dennis. He lives in Germany. He has become a really close friend. Again, someone I can take to a conversation with and talk about real life, which is always cool. I genuinely want to know how people are doing most of the time. I always forget how to pronounce her name. She's told me before, but we just call her Dama, Damarite Neuromancer. Her name is Italian, so it's not pronounced how we think it's pronounced, and I'm not going to attempt. She's amazing. She has been her style, her motivation, her desire to always want to do more and bigger, and just the grandiose about her is so motivating to me, and it hypes me up so much. And she has been someone who I have definitely grown close with. And again, another person we get to talk about real life, really know what's going on in these people's lives. And it's not just posts on a feed, it's not just pictures or altars or whatever your content is. People put in a lot of effort on content, and it takes a lot of energy out of us to do these things. But it's always important that you remember that these people are people, right? That there's other things going on, and those people that let you in, that's a good chance, that's a good opportunity for you to make a real friend, right?
It's not a small part of the reason that I wanted to do this.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Salty Deck Gaming, I found out that he lives in before we started hanging out IRL, I found out that he lived in Oceanside where I live. I saw him post a picture of him at a game store near my house, and I was like, are you visiting or do you live here? And he was like, oh, I live here. I'm like, sweet, come over next week. And so, you know what I mean? Like, and then it was just like that. We started playing games, and he became a good bud too. And we play, IRL games, and he's in the military. So he's back and forth on deployment. So I know it's only sometimes small windows of time I get to hang out, but I always wish him well and hope he's safe travels. Yep. Lots more.
That's okay.
Lots more.
If we wind up doing a sequel, we can do a sequel that's just you listing off names of people that you missed the
Oh,
first
we can
video.
do a whole ass video about me talking about people. Yes.
I believe it. But for now, let's move on to
Yeah.
question number 5. Uh, would you tell me and the viewers that will watch this eventually uh, what your role is in the Commander community, and after that, where we can find your content?
Yeah. I read this question before the interview, and I tried thinking about it, and uh I, I don't really know. I don't, like it's hard to say. I think this would be something I'd be curious to ask my close friends, but for me, I stream on Twitch, and my segment on Tuesday nights, I like to just set the tone as a bunch of friends hanging out. We just happen to be playing Magic. And by a bunch of friends, I mean a bunch of friends. I leave the Discord call intentionally open so people can join.
I've
Um,
I've heard it.
I leave the call open so friends can come in and out just like you do at a shop, just like you do at an LGS. It gives you the feeling that you're playing at a shop again. The banter, the back and forth. And then you may have your pod where it's you four, and you might have three people standing behind you watching the game, commenting and making fun of you and
All the
talking
shit
about,
talk.
yeah, all the clowning. And they may be talking about something completely different, and you can still hear them when you're at the shop, and maybe you'll chime in, maybe, whatever's happening, the vibe is completely open. And so, I was like, I'm going to try that on Twitch. I'm going to just let people come in, let them do their thing, and commentate however you like on the game and say whatever you want. And sure, maybe a turn will take 5 minutes because, or like a stack will, someone will try to resolve a spell, but instead we just meme for 5 minutes, or we watch a video on how to do a English accent or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the camp of, we're there to have fun. And I think that's probably my role in the community, is just to create a positive, open, comfortable space for people to be themselves, but to also play Magic. And that's just kind of the intention and the mood I try to set on my my stream and on Instagram. Um, I love chatting with people. I love having conversations. I love, learning about people, where they're from, and, what their names are and what they like to do, and having just real conversations with people. Um, and we just happen to have that same hobby of Magic, and that extends over to, a Discord community where we just kind of just mess around all day. And, we do listening parties, and we share music, and we watch movies together, and we play video games. And it's just trying to create a space that's comfy for people, where they feel like they can be themselves, is most important.
Yeah, you give real family vibes.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's just like what I want to say. I think I'm the type, is if whatever your effort you give, you get back from me,
Mhm.
so if you give that open, disarming, loving effort of wanting to be included, you'll be included, and I want to give off that same energy back, of just being able to create a space that people want to be a part of, right? And feel like they belong to. Um, but yeah, to answer the second part of that question, you can find me on Instagram, is probably going to be the easiest place to find me. I am at SlickJudge, the way it's spelled, and I post daily, mostly shiny cardboard.
It's very
Some
pretty.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty. I am wanting to do some more deck techs, get some of those going again. I did a week where I did all a deck tech every day, which is a lot of fun, which is a nice little like update for people who had been following me for a long time. They got to see some decks. Some crack packing, a pack cracking, excuse me. Um, and then other than that, I'm just kind of on there hanging out. So yeah, so I'll do my post for the day, and we'll chat a little bit. Otherwise, I'm posting in the story, asking people questions, seeing these really nice selfie challenges where I want to see people stomping on their counters. Um, I just like, yeah, I'm just hanging out otherwise. And then you could find me also on Twitch at twitch.tv/SlickJudge. Stream 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. This last week, my mom was in town, so we hung out. But otherwise, those are the 3 nights. I stream at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Tuesdays is usually EDH, whether high powered or CEDH. Sometimes we did some Strixhaven pre-release too, so maybe we'll do some more fun stuff as sets come out on there. Thursdays are kind of up in the air. They're kind of a wild card. Sometimes it's Overwatch. Sometimes it's more Commander if people are down. I think I want to jam some Arena soon, so there'll be more historic content, historic and limited. So look forward to that. And then on Sundays are my like solo Sundays, where I kind of play a solo game, whether it's like an RPG or an adventure game or survival horror. And right now I'm finishing up or starting the third installment in the Tomb Raider series, where I'm playing the whole franchise on bow only
Challenge mode.
for some reason. And so I'm starting the third game. I have beat the first and second on hard difficulty using only bow, and it's a very much a challenge, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's very rewarding. So I'll be starting the third one here soon on Sunday nights. And then
Awesome.
after that, we'll pick another game to go with. And but otherwise, chat is always fun. Um, put a huge emphasis on music during streams, so there's always really good heavy music on there if you guys are into that. Um, but yeah, otherwise, there's the Discord, which is another really great place to hang out. And yeah, find me on those. Hit me up. Let's get some games in or play other video games. Jackbox. I don't know. I don't care. I like hanging out.
Awesome. Well, that's it for the interview today. Love everybody that's watching.
Love you.
Slick, I loved having you here.
I love being here.
I hope I get to know you better as time goes on.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Uh, and with that, interview's done.
Cool.